Welcome to the NBA Basketball Challenge brought to you by the Jump Shot Wizard. And check out the Jump Shot Wizard 2-week workbook. It is available on Amazon. And today we've got a matchup, Skybox, 2 packs here, 15 cards from the inaugural edition. And then we've got the Donruss pack here, 2016-17. This is 30 card pack. So we're doing the 2-to-1 here, the old school packs versus the 1 new school pack. And again, we're going to open these up and create our top 5, our 2 guards, our 2 forwards, our center. We're trying to create our best team, and we're going to see what these matchups look like. Thunder Dan Marley coming through with the layup there. Vlade Divac. Joe Dumars coming in. Detroit Bad Boys. Robert Parrish at the center. A couple of big guys down low for us so far. Stuart Gray. Delani Rudd. Sam Bowie. Got picked over Michael Jordan. Dave Corzine. Johnny Dawkins. Ralph Sampson coming in. Larry Bird. All right, we got Larry Legend on the team. This helps us greatly. He's matched up with his actual teammate from back in the day, the championship teammates, Robert Parrish, the Chief down low, and Larry Bird. Craig Elo, we're going to take Joe D. He was a champion. Craig Elo was tough, but Joe D was a great player. And former bad boy teammate here, Mark Aguirre, we're going to put him in over Vlade. And you know what? I like Thunder Dan. Brian Shaw's a pretty good player and coach now, but we're going to keep Thunder Dan on the team. Second old school pack. All right, this is a good start for our team, and we've got a second pack here. So they might be able to compete against the new school pack. We've seen a trend, I think, in these videos where the new school teams have been winning, but maybe we can build an old school team here. Danny Ferry in his suit. Rory Sparrow. You got to come ready to play, Danny. John Spider Sally. So we could have 3 bad boys, right? We could have 3 bad boys and 2 old school Celtics. Now this was a rivalry, right? The old bad boys teams with John Sally, Mark Aguirre, Joe Dumars, of course, Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer, Rick Mahorn, Dennis Rodman. They came up against the old Celtics team that had Larry Bird and Robert Parrish and Kevin McHale and Dennis Johnson and Danny Ainge. Those teams were really, really tough, and they held the Pistons down for many, many years. And eventually the Pistons came up and beat the Celtics and overcame them in order to go to the finals and compete against the Lakers, and then lose against the Lakers, and then have to overcome them to become champions and win back-to-back championships. And so that's part of the mythology of the NBA. And then, of course, the Pistons were holding down the Celtics, the Bulls, as long as they could at that time, with Jordan trying to come up. And they had the Jordan rules, and the league was different. They would hammer Jordan every time he would come to the lane. And, the Celtics were playing a tough game like that too in that era. And all of these teams were playing as hard as they could, competing as hard as they could, trying to win. Anyways, the Pistons and the Celtics were great rivals. And it would be cool to see them, working together here as an all-star team. Let's put Kevin Johnson on the team and Brad Doherty on the team. So here's Dennis Johnson, another one that could be on the team here. Ron Harper. Let's put Ron Harper on the team. He was awesome. He ended up playing with Jordan on the Bulls teams that ended up winning championships later in his career. And Byron Irvin, Sherman Douglas, and Alvin Robertson. He was a great player and was one of the all-time steals leaders for many years. And so let's go ahead and put, we like Ron Harper, and we like Joe Dumars, and this is an intelligent, tough team. And so let's see how they match up against the new school. it was cool just to talk about the Pistons and Celtics matchup. That brought back some memories. Willie Cauley-Stein's on the team. Bobby Porras, Aaron Gordon. Should be a dunk champion twice over. Travesty. We love you, Aaron. Jamal Crawford's on the team. One of the all-time great sixth men. This guy's got so much game, and he can get buckets whenever we need. He might be on the team. Hassan Whiteside. Jeff Green. Journeyman. Consummate professional. DeAndre Jordan is on the team. Jeremy Lin's on the team. Josh Richardson. Yeah, let's put Josh Richardson on there. Anthony Davis is on the team. He is on his way to being all-time great. Ben McLemore. Nikola Mirotic. Norman Powell on the team. Andre Drummond. Yeah, let's put Andre Drummond on the team. Robertson. Russell Westbrook is on the team. Marcin Gortat. Kevin Durant is on the team. Kevin Durant's on the team. Camino. Manu Ginobili is an all-time great and a champion, and just what a good guy. Look at him. Manu Ginobili. How you doing, man? The champ is here. Put him on the team. Isaiah Thomas. Jordan Clarkson. Who we got here? Brandon Ingram. Let's put, we like Jamal so much. He's just an all-time great scorer. We got to keep him on. It's going to take a lot to bump Jamal Crawford off of our team. A lot. And it's not happening here right now. Nope. All right, that's our team. We've got Jamal Crawford at the guard with Russell at point. We've got a tough matchup here. Joe Dumars is an all-time great defensive player. He's going to get in front of Russell Westbrook and slow him up and slow down the game. Ron Harper's a great defensive player, and he's going to get in front of Jamal Crawford and make it difficult for him. As great as he is, Ron Harper might be a really great matchup for him. And then Larry Bird and Manu is a really tough matchup. And these guys are big and burly on the boards. So these two are going to extend them and make them run. And, he can shoot from outside now in a way that he, couldn't earlier in his career. But he's hitting threes now, like it's step-back threes and all this. These guys are not going to be able to compete with that. This new school team is going to run all over these guys. And as great as Larry Bird is and as intelligent as these guards are and as crafty as they are with the ball as big guys, these guys can shoot from anywhere. And they're going to be able to run all over these guys for the most part. And so unless they just slowed the game down and made it really sloppy old school, like in the 70s and 80s for the game, right? Game that's 82-75. They could win that game potentially. But in the new era with the way that these teams run and shoot, that's how this conversation starts and ends. If it's in the new school, with the new school era and the new school team that's running up and down with the new rules or if it's an old school game where it's just really sloppy and, not sloppy, but slower and methodical and run down. And there's a lot of, grinding and use of the full 24 seconds. All of those could add to a win, especially if Larry's getting the last shot. So if Larry's getting the last shot, they have a chance. Although Kevin is pretty clutch. Manu's incredibly clutch. Jamal is incredibly clutch. This would be a win over here, probably a 10-point win for the most part. And so we'll say final score is 115-105. And it was a good game. Thanks for playing. We love you. And this is brought to you by the Jump Shot Wizard. And check out the 2-week workbook. It's just a fun way to activate yourself on the court and do some drills and get some shots up.